deactivated his Twitter account. Man, I'm not even gonna lie. After Germany lost on Monday, he was getting clowned on Twitter. So, like any good American does after their favorite sports team loses, he just quit one of the social media apps. Luckily for you and me, he's still on Instagram, and he had a lot of explaining to do. If you would like to read the whole thing, here you go. Most importantly, he confirmed that he will continue to be here throughout July. And he's going to keep updating on Instagram, just not Twitter, because it's too toxic. Luckily for Freddie, he's been getting a lot of the supportive messages sent his way on Instagram, including this very kind one from Nashville, Tennessee. For the next handful of days, Freddie is going to be traveling from Boston to Dallas, Texas. And Lord knows that there are going to be a lot of stops in between where he's going to make some memories. I can only imagine.
I actually forgot to make videos, but then I was watching round of 32. I'm so happy for the matches I've just watched. Argentina Cup over there. Anyways,
imagine which one of these states is going to be in for the 4th of July. Freddie may have deactivated his Twitter, but he is not.
FIFA World Cup. Alright, so this is our round of 16 teams. See, there's no Asian team. How many African teams do we have? We have Morocco, we have Egypt. How many South American teams we have? We have Paraguay, we have Brazil. Then we have Argentina, Colombia as well. Wow, 4 teams. Then we have all the 3 hosts: Mexico, Canada, US, and then we have European giants. We have Norway, France, England, Spain, Portugal, Belgium, Switzerland. 7 teams, 7 European teams. Vamos. Alright, so US and Belgium will have a winner of Spain, Portugal. Wow, European versus European, Spain, Portugal. We have a rematch of Euros. Then we have Canada, Morocco. Very tricky match. I mean, that's the match I will gonna watch it tonight. That's a tricky match. I am not really sure what really will happen there. So I predicted. Let's go. Look at my predictions. So yeah, let us see this one. I have predicted today 5 wins in a row. 5 wins. Go follow the Reddit, dude. I've got all my 5 predictions right. The last prediction, today's prediction, obviously I've taken inspiration by Line Mover. He had really good streak. Where is Line Mover? This guy. I've taken his inspiration from here because he's predicting Navarro to win. So yeah, implemented the same in my 2-leg as well. Got Navarro to win a set, and Canada versus Morocco, where Morocco to score a goal. Because I'm not sure how this match is gonna play. Both teams are very unpredictable. This match could be a draw, could go to extra time, a goal there, or might not. There might not be a goal, a single goal, and could go to penalties. Although I know Morocco won't like penalties there. They have just come from penalties. Canada would want to go to penalties. They cannot beat Morocco. So yeah, I think Morocco should be heavy favorites to win this. So that is why I've gone them to score this goal. With this win, I think I'll get 6 in a row. Wow, that would be a good streak. 6 in a row. Anyways, what's tonight's match? If they have mentioned here, FIFA World Cup. The leading creators, okay, are on the D&D. Done. Round of 16, first ever. Australia-Egypt was very weird match. I predicted to have more than 6 corners. At the end, we won. Anyways, let us go to see what is my fate after 3 days. 3 days.
Hotline, brother.
Lock in. You legit played this man on Sunday. What are you doing? I'm away downtown, walking fast. Faces pass and I'm homebound.
Yo.
Lee. Oh, Lee. Look at you. You're not even conscious, and you're still determined to show the
Man, they
world
played too well.
what you can do.
It had to be a good team, the greatest player on earth. In the extra time, had to beat them. My God.
Knocked out.
At this point, I'm convinced that we the fans take this World Cup more serious than those that are playing it. Because in a game of 90 minutes, please listen to me. In a game of 90 minutes, at 85 minutes, you are winning 2-0. At 85 minutes, you are winning 2-0. Before 88 minutes, the score is 2-2. How? This is the kind of match that they need to summon all of you in the parliament of your country and ask each of you questions. This kind of match needs interrogation. All of you should be...
I would like to perhaps one day play against Messi, who for me is an extraordinary player and someone who I think many people also like. I do not know if we will be able to get there, but that would be a dream even beyond what we dream of. I would like to perhaps one day. I would like to. We all say when I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag. I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag. So wave your flag, now wave your flag, now wave.
Wow. They were just lucky.
I'm away downtown, walking fast. Faces pass and I'm homebound. And I need you. And I miss you. And now I wonder if I could fall into the sky. Here it is all. You slowly let it go. Are you turning off your
Wow.
Here it is all.
Wow. This guy, man.
I got this.
That goal.
I got this.
Ha 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 ha. Haaland, Haaland. What? Showing up and down of screen.
Incredible. Unbelievable. 2-1.
So Canada Morocco starts at 10:30 for me. I'll be able to watch the full match. Paraguay France I'll have to watch in the morning. I think I'll wake up at 4:30 to watch the full match. Then Australia versus England is tomorrow for me. When is F1? Why they have not mentioned F1 here? F1 starts in 1 hour, so I can record this for an hour here. And what's happening with tennis?
Amazon 10th Prime Day, live now. Grab.
We must investigate the refs after what they just did to Cape Verde. Extra time, dying minutes of the game, and Cape Verde has possession. So they're going to push the ball up and try to score, win this game.
Da Costa, he's taken down.
Da Costa gets taken down in the box. So everybody's thinking Cape Verde is going to get a penalty kick. But that is not what happened.
The referee says corner. Cape Verde says no.
Instead, it's a corner. Then we get to literally the final moment of the match, where another penalty happens and Cape Verde gets to set up a free kick. 9 minutes of the match. This is Cape Verde's last chance. If they score a free kick here, they advance. But what do the refs do?
He's not going to let the free kick be taken. That is it.
They say, you know what?
What the? I just realized Casper Ruud is eliminated. Yo.
We're not going to let the free kick be taken. Now look, am I a hunt?
Cancel your alarms, cancel your plans. Well, don't cancel them, just rearrange them. England versus Mexico, no longer at 1 o'clock in the morning UK time. Over the last hour or so, it started coming out that this fixture might get moved due to thunderstorms. FIFA seriously considering moving England's World Cup last 16 clash versus Mexico from 6 p.m. local time to noon on Sunday, owing to a forecast thunderstorm. Numerous local Mexican outlets then started reporting that it had been rearranged and that it would be played at midday. And now we have the confirmation from the BBC. England's World Cup last 16 tie with Mexico is set to be moved to 7 p.m. on Sunday. FIFA is understood to be bringing forward the game at Azteca, Mexico City, which had been scheduled to be at 1 a.m. Forecasts suggest there could be thunderstorms and heavy rain around this time, although FIFA has not yet provided any explanation. Now, largely for fans, that's great. We no longer have to stay up until, well, 1 a.m. start.
Oh, Tsitsipas and Djokovic. Djokovic wins that one.
For England, we were already on quite a quick turnaround. That is now 6 hours less. Would that make a difference on the day? Perhaps not. Midday is definitely hotter than 6 p.m. would have been in Mexico, so that's going to be a difference. Ultimately, you know, you're going to have to go to school on Monday morning, kids. Cancel
Paul is out. No man. Even Jodar is out. Wow.
your alarm.
Medvedev is out as well.
Cancel your
Fonseca is out. What's happening? Wow.
plans. Well, don't cancel.
So today is 4th of July, right? No, today is 4th of July. So I'll be able to watch ADM, Alex the Minor, Kachinov, and then Berrettini, Fritz, TFO, and Zebreva as well.
Just rearrange them. England versus Mexico, no longer at 1 o'clock in the morning UK time. Over the last hour or so, it's started.
Every European national team has many immigrants in its lineup, except one. Could this be the reason they are out of the World Cup for the third time? The best player on the French national team today is of Cameroonian descent. His family comes from there. The best player in Spain today has Moroccan ancestry. His family comes from Morocco. Germany's best player is from a Nigerian family. One of the best players from England is also from Nigeria. And the best player of the Dutch national team today comes from Suriname. Not just him, almost half of the team is from Suriname. Van Dijk, Gravenberch, Xavi Simons, even Wijnaldum, who doesn't even play anymore, also came from Suriname. But in Italy, we don't see this happening. The Italian Football Federation does not have the custom of training players in its youth categories who are not Italian. It does not train players who are immigrants. But this is starting to weigh negatively on Italy, which is in a way a benefit for all other countries receiving the immigrants, training them, and turning them into players for their national teams. In Italy, it's bad. They are not doing that. They are not utilizing good players that may emerge. For example, France, which is one of the biggest powers in the world today, reached the last 2 World Cup finals. There is a team that is almost entirely made up of descendants of immigrants. Players who were born in France, but their families were not. The families came from elsewhere and moved to France. However, France welcomed them and agreed to train them and turn them into players for its national team. But if France had followed Italy's ideas, this would be France's team today.
Yo, look at that team. Longley, Rabiot, Dick Lucas, Dick Day.
So be honest with this team here, would France reach 2 World Cup finals and be a world power as it is today? And Italy is experiencing exactly that.
Mkhitaryan, by the way, is now the age at which his father died.
Yes, absolutely. After advancing the round, made them spread look like a high school. Yo, what's with Shams? Any latest update? Where is LeBron? Shams, where are you, Shams? What is the latest update? Bro, leave that. Where is that one? About Brown? Yo, what was this? How can they trade Jaylen Brown for Paul George? You kidding me, dude? You kidding me? Nonsense move. That was nonsense move. Anyways, doesn't bother us. We are not Celtic nor 76ers.
Is happening. Mexico versus England in Mexico. El Tricolor versus the Three Lions. Jimenez versus Harry Kane. The Latinos versus the Lads. The Muchachos versus the Mandem. The Narcos versus the Nigels. Corona v Carlin. Cancun v Clacton. Beans on rice versus beans on toast. Chichen Itza versus Chicken Tikka. The supplier versus the buyer. Jump the fence versus stop the boats. Vamos Mexico versus Come on England. 7,000 foot above sea level. 22 players. 2 hydration breaks. 1 winner. 1 dream. 1 o'clock in the morning. Fuck. He said one day you'll leave this world behind.
Brother, England has now resorted to the most absurd tactic to beat Mexico I've ever seen. Not only did they decide to arrive late to Mexico City to avoid spying, but at their hotel, they have now surrounded it with what they're calling the Ring of Steel. This includes police, riot shields, roadblocks, and National Guard patrols. They're doing all this to avoid what the Mexican fans did to the Ecuadorian team hotel. Now, why does England, a powerhouse team, feel so threatened? Well, as good as England is, they're only 52% favorites on Kalshi right now to win this game because Mexico has not conceded a goal in this World Cup. Mexico has only lost 2 games at the Azteca Stadium in the last 56 years. And by the way, if you want to stay updated on the World Cup, make sure you're following. The reason England is taking these ridiculous precautions is because they're basically playing against the Avengers. This team doesn't get scored on. They don't lose in their stadium. They're playing at home, and they have some of the greatest fans in the entire world. What a tactical showdown we are seeing before the game even starts. I can't wait. Brother, England has now resorted to the most absurd tactic to beat Mexico I've ever seen. Not only did they decide to arrive late to Mexico City to avoid spying, but at their hotel, they have now surrounded it with what they're calling the Ring of Steel. This includes police, riot shields, roadblocks, and National Guard patrols. They're doing all this to avoid what the Mexican fans did to the Ecuadorian team hotel. Now, why does England, a powerhouse team, feel so threatened? Well, as good as England is, they're only 52% favorites on Kalshi right now to win this game because Mexico has not conceded a goal in this World Cup. Mexico has only lost 2 games at the Azteca Stadium in the last
Before the World Cup started, Argentine gave FIFA and US security agencies a list of 13,000 names. The vast majority were parents, more specifically fathers, who had not paid any child support. And the message was pretty simple: do not let them into the stadiums. So many of them still flew to America, booked hotels, walked around the host cities, but as soon as they got to the turnstiles, they were denied access. Argentina has already been running this scheme internally since March 2025 and has caught 162 people in breach at grounds back home. And Buenos Aires Mayor Jorge Macri put it pretty plainly. He said, "Those who fail to meet a responsibility as fundamental as feeding their child must face the consequences." So 13,000 men flew all the way from Argentina to America to watch the World Cup and got stopped at the last hurdle. Before the World Cup started, Argentine gave FIFA and US security agencies a list of 13,000 names. The vast majority were parents, more specifically fathers, who had not paid any child support. And the message was pretty simple: do not let them into the stadiums. So many of them still flew to America, booked hotels, walked around the host cities, but as soon as they got to the turnstiles, they were denied access. Argentina has already been running this scheme.
Germany didn't have this kind of leadership. Bro.
1 year ago, I bought a 5th Division professional football club based in Nairobi, Kenya. As an organization, we had one goal: reach and win the Kenyan Premier League. But unfortunately, the club was headed in the wrong direction. A relegation at the end of last season had put us back at square one, and morale had hit an all-time low. No money, no hope, and no future. But I was just 4 months into my new role as owner, and I was determined to give it one final push. So I flew to Nairobi last September and began building with our team on the ground. We hosted open trials, the largest in Kenyan grassroots football history, stacking our roster with 12 new signings. We began renting a mansion in the heart of our neighborhood, Cabo West, to house all 23 of our players. We formulated a meal plan, serving 3 meals a day, allowing our players to focus 100% on football and training. And while signs of progress began showing from the outside, I silently watched as Jersey Bird began running out of money to support the project, at times even pulling from my personal savings to keep things afloat. By the time I returned from Kenya at the end of September, we were pretty much broke. But that is when everything changed. I began posting about our journey and we went viral. Millions, tens of millions of views poured in from 100 plus countries all around the world. Our YouTube channel exploded, and from simply posting these videos, we received the much needed financial support to keep the project alive. 7,900 USD in October revenue turned into 12,000 in November, which then turned into nearly 19,000 in December, as the club had miraculously become profitable in mere months. However, internet fame can be fleeting, and we were far from comfortable heading into January. But with a new product launch, 3 matches to live stream, and an innovative new revenue stream set up and ready to go, we put ourselves in the best possible position to have another historic month in January. And in this video, I will cover in extensive detail every single expense, every single dollar of revenue we generated through all 7 revenue streams, and finally, how much money did we make or lose in the month of January, because your support. 1 year ago, I bought a 5th Division professional football club based in Nairobi, Kenya. As an organization, we...
Oh, Toyota. Toyota.
Have you ever noticed how Pochettino looks like the average citizen of the country he's coaching? Pochettino is a great coach. I don't need to introduce him to you. But in the mess that was United States and Paraguay, I was noticing how he looks like an average American. He gets into character, guys. Check it out. Come with me. He started out, he's Argentine, right? So you can find several photos from when he played in Argentina, and he was the face of Argentina at that time. He looked like a crazy guy, a rough player, with a hell of a cocky style. Many people don't remember, but he went to Spain. He was the coach of Escanol. And check it out. Doesn't he have a hint of Enrique Iglesias, Ricky Martin, a Latin touch? He managed to get into the Spanish Latin character, let's say, as well. I know Spanish people aren't Latino, but you get what I mean. And then what impresses me is that he's already been to England and France, but you can also recognize where he's from. When he was in England, he looked a lot like an average English citizen who left early for work in London's cloudy weather. But you can also tell the difference when he went to Paris. Man, he had the look of French fashion. Same style of clothing, haircuts, beard style. But the most impressive thing is that in the United States, he became the typical American family man. Kid, look at this. Everywhere he goes, he manages to camouflage himself. He's a geographical...
Part of Canada recruited Moroccans to keep the French language alive, and now
Wow.
Canada are playing Morocco in a World Cup knockout match. My name's Joey, I'm a journalist and author. I'm doing these videos for every World Cup game. So Canada has taken in a lot of immigrants over the last few decades. Most of them have settled in the English-speaking parts of Canada, but one province kind of has its own rules, and that's Quebec, the French-speaking part of Canada, where the city of Montreal is. And since a 1991 deal with Ottawa, the Canadian capital, Quebec sort of selects its own economic migrants, and it's selected for French and the French language. And what that means is the obvious pool was North Africa, places like Algeria and Morocco, where people already spoke French. And it meant the numbers followed, and in the 1990s and 2000s, lots of people moved from Morocco to Canada, French speakers still speaking French in their new country. And now there are about 100,000 people of Moroccan origin in Canada. About 80% of them are in the province of Quebec. And the city of Montreal has a sort of North African quarter, Moroccans, Algerians, it's called the Petit Maghreb, Maghreb being the French word for that region, of course. Yeah, and that community is a pretty visible one. There's a comedian, Gad Elmaleh, who's one of the most famous comedians in the French-speaking world. He's of Moroccan origin. He got his big break in Montreal. There's also more recently the streamer Pokimane, who was born in Morocco but grew up in Canada. So yeah, when Canada line up against Morocco tonight, there'll be lots of people in Montreal and beyond, presumably cheering for Morocco. And it's similar to Morocco played the Netherlands. I made a video about that. Lots of Moroccan immigrants went to the Netherlands too. So huge Moroccan diaspora around the world, including two of the countries are playing in this World Cup. But yeah, the Moroccans came to Canada because Quebec went out looking for French speakers. I'm doing videos like this for every game in the World Cup, so follow along. I've also got a free weekly newsletter, comment newsletter, and I'll DM you a link, or there's a link in my bio. So part of Canada recruited Moroccans to keep the French...
Guys, I honestly can't believe this. Guess what?
Oh, you missed
As
out
I'm-
on the
So the
match.
number one World Cup question that's being asked here in Colorado is why is the World Cup not being played in Colorado? We've got the facilities for teams to train, hotels galore. It's a sports crazy town, and of course a stadium that is objectively better than some of the stadiums that they're playing in this tournament. Way better than Arrowhead in Kansas City. Way better. So why does Denver not have any games? I reached out to the city. A spokesperson with Visit Denver got back to me. I'll read you the loudest part because basically Denver didn't want to pay for it. And here's the loudest part of this email and their answer to me. They wrote right here, in the case of the FIFA World Cup, the official contract required host cities to take on all of the costs and commit to an open-ended budget. That is not something the committee felt comfortable agreeing to. We were instructed that if the agreement wasn't signed, that Denver would not be considered. With that open-ended language on requirements and potential liabilities, the committee felt it best to not sign the agreement as presented. It's too much money. And Denver is a spectacular sports town, as we know, but this stuff has happened before in Denver, actually. It's not the first time they've refused the possibility for a big major world event. Like in 1976, when Denver was awarded the bid for the 1976 Winter Olympics and then later rejected it. Denver, Colorado is actually the first and only city location to ever do that, to be awarded a bid and then reject it. And so now, Denver, during the World Cup, is sitting on the sidelines. So the number one World Cup question that's being asked here in Colorado.
What's up, everyone? Tyler Adams here. I'm here with Scott and every kid.
Freddie update Friday, July 3rd. He saved a woman's life. Freddie started his Thursday in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Pretty sure he's going to be stopping at the White House in the next couple of days. All part of a big journey to get down to Dallas. Freddie and his friend's first stop of the day was in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, which is apparently the Switzerland of America. Had some Dunkin' Donuts and then hung out by the lake. And then Freddie just went through a very traumatic experience where he ended up having to call an ambulance. You can read the whole thing below. I'm fairly certain that he probably saved a person's life. And like nothing happened, he went to the nuclear accident 3 Mile Island. Took some photos of this cool graffiti. Freddie then watched his favorite player Ronaldo take down Croatia in stoppage time. And he was able to respond to this wonderful message from a Kansas City bakery. capped off their evening by heading to Noodles and Company for dinner, and then finishing the night in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where they were able to eat at their hotel. I have a feeling that the next couple days for Freddie are going to be massive. Until next time, on Freddie Watch. Freddie Update Friday, July 3rd. He's sick.
This Sunday, for the first time in football history, Mexico are the favorites against England. Yes, it might sound like the craziest thing ever because England are loaded with the best footballers on the planet. You could argue not a single Mexican player gets into their team. But there's one thing Mexico has that England doesn't, and it's called the Estadio Azteca. Now, a lot of you guys may be thinking, why should a stadium give a team so much advantage? Bro, Mexico, in their last 89 games at the Estadio Azteca, they've only lost twice. That is not normal. And Mexico's a nation that has only produced 2 world-class players in their entire history. England right now has more world-class players on the pitch that Mexico has had in their entire existence. Everyone's realizing this might be England's hardest game at this World Cup. Even traders on the Polymarket app are giving them only a 38% chance to win this game. And I'm not gonna lie, I see these odds dropping. Yes, England might be one of the favorites.
Welcome to the new era. This shit don't even look right. What alternate universe did I wake up in? The only motherfucker that looks semi-real is Kawhi, because he already was in a Raptors uniform. We got fucking LaMelo in Minnesota, Ja on the Trailblazers, rest in peace, Giannis in Miami, JB on the 76ers, and Kawhi in Toronto. This nigga Jalen Brunson broke the NBA timeline. He got motherfuckers that played for teams their entire career getting traded, bro. Even LeBron is trying to go find a new team to play for after the Knicks won a championship. Bro.
5-3-1-2.
Bro, that's fucking insane. This motherfucker was playing for the Lakers for about 7 years, bro. The Knicks win, and now he's like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna get me another ring. What's even crazier is that all of these players were considered superstars at one point in time for the teams they got traded from. And the fact that these motherfuckers are all on different teams, bro, that shit means nobody in the league is safe. They do not care who you are. Welcome to the new era. This shit don't even look right. What alternate universe did I wake up in? The only motherfucker that looks semi-real is Kawhi, because he already was in a Raptors uniform. We got fucking LaMelo in Minnesota, Ja on the Trailblazers, rest in peace, Giannis in Miami, JB on the 76ers, and Kawhi in Toronto. This nigga Jalen Brunson broke the NBA timeline. He got motherfuckers that played for teams their entire career getting traded, bro. Even LeBron is trying to go find a new team to play for after the Knicks won a championship. Bro, that's fucking insane. This motherfucker was playing for the Lakers for about 7 years, bro. The Knicks win, and now he's like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna get me another ring. What's even crazier is that all of these players were considered superstars at one point in time for the teams they got traded from. And the fact that these motherfuckers are all on different teams, bro, that shit means nobody in the league is safe. They do not care who you are. Welcome to the new era. This shit don't even look right. What alternate universe did I wake up in? The only motherfucker that...
From Milwaukee to Miami, from Portland. Hey, he was in Portland Trailblazers. He was in Ja Morant. Was in some West team, right? He and that guy who is in he's in Toronto or Memphis. He was in Memphis. Ja Morant. This guy was in a funny team. I don't remember his name. How this guy got traded is weird. He's into 76ers. But anyways, Kawhi going back to Toronto Raptors.
Five things you missed from the round of 32 at the World Cup so far, starting with these Paraguayan prisoners celebrating with their prison guards as they went through against Germany on penalties. Quite literally bringing everyone together. Moving on to the Norwegian rowing again, but this time one special little rower, Martin Ødegaard's son, in the crowd. How adorable is this? last night we had one of the greatest bits of commentary from Danny Murphy I have ever heard.
You used to have a cat called Bob. The game's not that bad. Yeah, he jumped in the back of a Royal Mail van and we lost him.
We have a double substitution for Norway.
Sad, really. Anyway.
When you wanted to be watching the football but ended up at a baseball game, this Mexican fan, during the baseball, finding out Mexico had scored is unbelievable.
Is 2-2. Spikes in the dirt.
But don't forget to make sure you're following for these. It's not going to be...
All right, so we're here with Serbia and Croatia.
Croatia!
I thought it was the same. They told me Serbia. Soccer fans from Serbia.
We're from Croatia, no Serbia.
It's not the same?
No, it's not even close.
So we're here with some Serbian.
Serbian.
It's not Serbian.
No,
It's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
The languages and everything too.
Yeah, languages are similar, but completely two different countries.
Oh, teach me just one word in Croatian.
Živeli.
Živeli. What is this?
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. To je super. Znači, malo pričam ja hrvatski.
A dobro znam. Sve znam, brate.
Kako smo? Jesmo
Skoro si ovaj popisao.
Aha, malo, jel?
Pa zašto onda se mučimo na engleskom?
Pa ne znam, All right, so we're here with Serbia and Amazon.
What the fuck did we just witness? Cabo Verde is the surprise of the World Cup, guys. Oh my god. This is a country with 500,000 people. Their first ever World Cup appearance. And they are this close to eliminating Argentina, the current world champions. They are this close to retiring Leo Messi from the World Cup. They've already won the World Cup in my books. They never even expected to make it past the group stages. They stayed unbeaten against Spain, against Uruguay, two world champions. Stayed unbeaten in the whole group stages. Then they had Argentina on the edge of a national humiliation. Aquí Cabo Verde, porra. What the fuck did we...
I don't think many of you understand we've got Monday Night Football
Alright, I'll see you in the next one.
in
Bye-bye.
Seattle.